Welcome to Bellex Designs and Home Solutions, where you get all your home cleaning hacks, ideas on decoration and design. Please do subscribe to my channel and share. Today we're going to be talking about induction hob. If you've got an induction hob or an electric cooker or electric hob and you want to protect it from scratching, then you've come to the right place. I'm just going to show you how you can protect your induction hob and also create some space as well, like plenty of space to put stuff when you're cooking if you've got a smaller kitchen. And then it's such a good idea to kind of protect it with a protection mat. So the whole idea is I'll show you how to clean it first and make sure the induction hob is clean. I've used our favorite elbow grease. If you've watched some of my videos before, this is quite good in taking grease off kitchen stuff. So what you need to do is make sure you kind of spray that and clean it thoroughly. Take out the excess grease or any dirt or debris off the induction hob or electric cooker. You can always make sure you read the instruction well anyway for any product you buy. So the idea here is you make sure you clean it, take off everything on the induction hob, make sure that that is actually dry. So I've just spent some time making sure that I've cleaned the induction hob before I layer the mat on it. Take off everything on there. You can do this on electric hob as well, but make sure that whatever mat you're buying, it actually says for electric and induction hob. So when you do this, use a microfiber cloth to clean it. It's quite easy and effective using a microfiber cloth to clean your induction hob. So I've cleaned out the excess grease on the hob. So what I will do is, actually make sure that I get some of a glass cleaner to clean this. So I would get a glass cleaner, which is a window and glass cleaner. You can get this from anywhere, anyone should do. So that just make it a bit more shiny and glossy, make it cleaner, if that makes sense. So once you do that, you take out everything off that induction hob. And then, you can then prepare that surface for you to, protect it and use a protecting mat. I'm going to show you in a minute how to use your protector mat. But, make sure you clean it properly. Otherwise, you're going to have a bit soggy and wet when you put a mat on it. So that's not really ideal. So I'm going to dry it very well with a dry cloth. So that's what I'm actually doing now, just to take everything off and, protect it as well. Please make sure you don't use this on electric gas. If your home is just meant for induction or, normal electric cooker, don't use it on a gas hob rather. So there are other options for gas hob if you want to protect your gas hob, but this one is actually for if you've got a gas burner rather. So this one is just for induction and electric, depending on what mat you've bought. So I'm using that orange cloth just to dry it again. Go over it, make sure it's actually really, really dry. You don't want it wet or damp. It should be dry so you can see that everything else is off and is clean on the screen there. Taking everything up, it looks really, nice and clean. So what I would need to do now is to make sure that I get the induction mat that I've bought, a protective mat. I got this again from Amazon. So there is it comes in a packet like this. I got the black one. Some of them have got different colors, but I prefer black in this mat. So again, you can get it off Amazon. I'm just gonna take it off from the packaging. And then I'll illustrate how you can actually, put that on your induction hob or electric hob. But make sure you read the instructions quite well, just to make sure that you can go to either or you buy the one that is specifically for induction hob or electric hob. So when you put this on, this will really create you some space. You can put pans and pot on there, chopping board on there to chop, and it won't scratch your induction hob. So that is it. That is actually how it looks like. I've taken it out. And you can see the control panels of the induction hob is actually there. You need to actually cut it and make sure that you have access to actually put the, this panel on. when you're putting your hob on. Otherwise you can't put it on when it's actually covered. So I would use that spatula to measure it, and be careful as well that you don't scratch it while in this process. So I'll get a scissors. I've marked it where that line should go. I'm using a scissors to cut it. So I am using that as a little ruler, just as a guide to trim it off, just to cut that excess part of it, to make an a shape like where you can see stuff there. So I would take that off, put a line there, and just cut it off. So yep, so if you are patient, you're gonna watch me do this and do it perfectly. So yep, I'm gonna cut it off for a minute, and be careful as well, because sometimes if you don't hold the scissors properly, you can actually use that and scratch your induction hob, which is actually counterintuitive, because you're trying to protect it and then you don't want to make it worse. So yep, I'm going to trim that on the side, fold it again, and then push that downward as well. Use that spatula to just hold it at the back so it forms a kind of uniform line. And then what I'll do, I'll use the scissors as well just to cut through. You can see that. So I'm just gonna make sure that that actually works. It's a bit tricky, but if you've got a more effective way, better than me, oh my God, please go for it. So if you've got somebody to hold onto it as well, that's okay, but I was doing it on my own. So you can see that I'm trimming it on a straight line, and that gives me that the zone, which is actually, you can put it's more visible, where you can actually put that induction hob on. So some of it is not really on a straight line, so I'll kind of like fix it a little bit again, just trim out some of the edges a little bit, just fold that up and see if I can cut it a little bit again, just so that I can have access to putting up all the induction zones on. So that part was quite hidden, so I'm going to cut it off a little bit so it's more visible and more conspicuous, so you can put it on. So that one I will chop it off, bear with me, and then cut it on a straight line. And again, be careful not to actually scratch your induction hob. So be very, very careful while you're doing this. And also be careful, you don't want to cut your hands as well, for those that don't have straight hands, I would say. So yeah, you can see that now it's a bit more obvious, and you can see stuff, all the buttons on what to select. So when you put it on, so yeah, you can test it. I'm just going to test it and see, that I can put it on. That's actually on, which is fine. So I'll try to kind of just make sure the buttons kind of work well again. That's okay. It doesn't stop you, so it gives you more visibility. So when you put on gloves, sometimes it's not really sensitive. You have to push it harder for induction hob to work. So that's on. That's okay. So we're good. So that actually makes it quite smooth. So you can see that again, the mat is quite nice. So yep, that's, you put stuff down there, it's okay. So you can put a pot. Thank you.